Welcome to another episode of Ways. My name is Mohammad. I'm here with the co-host Osama.
What's good?
Welcome to another episode of What Are You Saying? Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to every episode. You can listen to us every Monday. Expect the video on Wednesday, exclusively on YouTube. Make sure to follow us at Ways 2.0 on Instagram at Ways 2.0. Follow Osama at Kusa300 with a K. Follow myself at Mohammed.global. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Anchor, Overcast, and other various platforms. We appreciate the love, sincerity, and support. We'll get better as time goes along. Today's episode, very, very different, not as far as the topic, but as far as the landscape and what's happening in the future. As we all know, arguably this is the last week of summer, so now everyone's getting ready to go back to school. Before, you usually do your go back to school shopping, go to Walmart, get the pencils, get the book bags, get some clothes, and you look fly and stuff, right? Get ready for school. Now, with COVID and obviously the pandemic that's happened and that impacted our world within the last few months, going back to school is totally different as far as what's happening for university, college, high school, and as well as elementary kids, right? So, I'm going to talk about it, give reviews and perspective, how it correlates and how it's differential from our time when we're in school, all right? So let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we start the podcast, we were talking about it personally, and I'm gonna say one thing to everyone that's in elementary school right now or high school. I gotta say, it's a tough scenario because obviously, with Corona now, that they have certain I want to say requirements that you have to meet, that you have to do. I would not know how I would do in this time, especially with all this technology, and especially if you're at home, you might not be focused at school. What do you say?
No, it's legit impossible. I couldn't even focus in high school. So going to high school, elementary school now, I would legit fail my class. It's impossible. So to give context, what's happening right now, apparently, new reports are indicating that going back to school for elementary kids, going back to school every single day, obviously there'll be COVID procedures as far as the tests, making sure they're safe and everything and taking care of that. They're going to be hand sanitizing the schools, I believe, 3 days out of the 5 days.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, when it comes to high school, they're saying that kids will go to school half the week. So there'll be an A group and a B group.
High schools or elementary?
High school. And they're going to rotate, right? So if you're in the A group, you go to school 3 out of the 5 days. Even when you go to school, though, you're only going to school for half the day. So you go to school for half the day. Once you finish your first or second period, you have to go home. And once you get home, you have to continue on with your work studies online. And that's just insane.
Yeah, I am not going to lie. That is insane. Something that is definitely one of the harder things to, I don't want to say comprehend, just to deal with, because when I was in high school, I didn't have to deal with none of that. We had a pandemic. Swine flu wasn't as big.
No.
And we were still able to go to school and do our thing. It was normal. And it was not schools were open. It's guys just coming. Everything is fine. And now you see, even some parents have said, I guess they did surveys where you need their kids to go back to school because they can't take care of them at home because now they're being asked to go back to work. And then you have some parents who are really concerned about this thing. Well, I want to say majority of them.
Yeah.
I have a concern, but it's just how well is the Ministry of Education taking it seriously to make sure these kids are staying safe?
Well, the thing is, obviously, we don't have the numbers of the U.S., but when you hear the reports of how many kids are getting affected every single day from COVID in the U.S. because of lack of treatments, lack of tests, and social distancing, it's okay, number one, it's kids and it's high schoolers. To ask kids and high school kids to be 6 feet apart at all times is impossible. Of
course.
Because kids want to touch each other, play stupid games,
don't play tag,
all these challenges, memes, viral moments with all these apps. It's impossible to get 2,000 kids or a certain amount to just be distant, right?
But maybe if you think, the thing is, had this happened when we were kids, it'd be different because technology wasn't as strong as it was. Believe it or not, we were always outside. So had it happened in our time, maybe only maybe would it be hard. But now because technology is so strong and so empowering, I want to say it's really powerful. Maybe they'll utilize technology to get these kids to be focused in school, right? I don't know. I legit don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. It's definitely going to be an interesting next 2 years because God knows when they find a vaccine, which they basically will entail us going back to normal. But school is a whole different scenario. Like I'm like to all the students, my only advice is you have to refresh your brain, refresh your mindset. If you were doing something wrong, you got to make sure like you're focused now because it's definitely different times.
Yeah, one thing I would say, and it's like we've been talking about in our early episodes, with COVID, whoever was just relaxing, not doing much, and taking time for granted, once, as we're in right now, once we're coming back outside, if you didn't take advantage of that time, you really didn't change, you didn't evolve, you shouldn't expect success or more money, more wealth, more outcomes in the future because you didn't put in that work, right? People actually put in that time and that effort and that work. By the time we're coming out in society right now, they have a full advantage over anyone else as far as job opportunities, skill wise, and just like opportunities as far as goals and outlook, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with school. I wasn't the best student, but looking back and giving advice now, like if I was in school right now, I'd be like, you know what? There's like an off year. It's like, okay, it's one of those like I would still like try, but like I wouldn't give my best effort because you know what, like okay, the year is off, like it's not really counting stuff, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you're in grade 11, or grade 12, you're still going to go to university whether you like it or not.
Someone's gonna listen to
It might be online,
yeah,
but you're still going to university. So don't take this time to be like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna slack off, relax and stuff,
bro.
and just make up for it because you never know. School might be delayed for 2 years if another way happens. We don't go outside for a year or two, right?
100%.
So do not give up and do not slack at all.
You made me laugh because you said you weren't the well. Actually, I wasn't a good student either. But if someone, could you imagine someone hears this? Like, yo, if you were a good student, why are you guys preaching about it?
Oh yeah, no, because that's wisdom. Like you learn. You like if I go back in time, I'd slap myself like, bro, try harder because
honestly, I'm
certain things take for
but
granted.
The thing is like, yes, we were. I don't want to say we were bad students. We were just like we didn't care. I want to say because like we were like it's not like we got in trouble 24/7.
No.
High school was actually a good kid. Like I just like didn't try as hard as
I
I should have. But I guess it just made me a little bit more wiser in terms of like what I wanted more in life now. Because obviously, if you're one kid, then you'll be a different kid. If you're that smart kid, it can go also either way. You say that smart kid or you go downhill. You know those people.
Because the good thing is, well, as we all know, before Corona, it was harder to get a job just coming out of university.
It's gonna be harder now.
Or it's even as hard to get into a good university with good marks and stuff coming out of high school. Now with this, the half days and stuff, for kids who aren't able to focus that much, it is impossible for them to get tasks and assignments done because I'm at home at half the time. Bro, think about it. From the time it takes from our high school to get home, it might be like, what, 20 minutes to 1 hour? By the time you get home, you don't want to do those assignments and stuff, whatever. You're going to slack off. And because of that, you might fall a year behind or 2 years behind. And it's all because you just didn't put in the effort and the work. So that's why it's like, man, do not take it for granted. If you're not a school person, still pursue and still try hard because you can use that skill in other things.
If you're not a school person, honestly,
just work ethic. My
suggestion would be don't allow it to get worse because obviously if what Mohammed is saying and he's again, I'm not been paying attention to school and what they're doing, but based on what he said, if you're the person who's like been lazy, who's been getting decent marks, whatever, make sure you study a little bit harder, keep up with your grades because obviously studying at home is a lot different. Like you're at your comfort zone.
Exactly, it's hard.
Right? And it's different when you're like you're working on your business at home as opposed to school. School sometimes a lot of people do not like as they don't want to do. So if you don't want to do it, make sure you're focusing a little bit more on it because what could happen is your grades will start falling. You may not be given, and you know what that could cause a lot of students to drop out.
Of course,
a lot. And they can't stop skipping class now.
Talk about it. The dropout percentage can actually rise. Almost double.
It could double because now people are like, I don't want to be at school when I'm at home.
I'll just come back to school the next year.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And some kids might actually start skipping will also increase. Like, well, I'm online. All I have to do is have, and now with technology, by the way, being so crazy, all they have to do is press record on their Zoom call, and they don't have to be in class no more.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. It's unfortunate. It's very sad when you said that. I didn't even realize that. And also, we hope that's not the case. We hope that you guys work hard, even push, even if you can't even function as well. Still, just try to be passionate at something and work hard towards it, right? Because think about it, Osama. Can you imagine being on White Oaks and this happened?
Hell no.
Imagine the percentage of White Oak students even going back to school trying hard with the
I want to say for the non-GTA users, like for the viewers, sorry, not users, for the viewers, because obviously I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching this. 25% of our 25% of our listeners are actually outside of Canada, which is actually insane. But yeah, so White Oaks is our high school, mind you. I always used to make the joke. I'm like, everyone served 4 years because it looks like a jail cell. Legit looks like a jail cell. Like, when I was a kid, I'm like, am I at the right school, bro?
Yeah.
Or is someone treatment taking me to jail? But all jokes aside, you have to understand. Like, I was talking to one of my buddies, and I was telling him the younger kids should be going asking their older cousins these questions, like, hey, what do you think I should do? Look, I'm going to say, like, if I was in your situation right now, I legit, and it's normal to not, it's normal to know, it's normal to say I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're hit with a rock and you're like, oh damn, like what do I do?
It's true. It's true.
But let me ask you, like, I want to ask you a question. What do you feel the Ministry of Education needs to do to ensure that things go their way?
That's a really good question. I think the easiest way to answer that is to understand that what they expect as far as the overall goal might not happen, but they shouldn't blame themselves they shouldn't blame themselves for a year that might turn out not to be as successful as expected, only because it's the first of its kind.
Yeah.
So if a lot of kids do fail classes, a lot of kids that were good A and B students end up being C and D students, if a lot of kids, if there's more fights in schools, if there's more depression, all these different things, mental health, don't put yourself at fault because we've never seen anything like this before. So as far as trying to deal with it and trying to give the best solution, it's a trial. It's a pilot, right?
You said depression, which is a big thing because actually there's been cases even before Corona became like this is before the pandemic. People were having calls because of depression.
Yeah,
staying too much at home was gonna like cause your mental health to go crazy. And it's different times, and to students that are like who are like I'll speak about the grade 12s right now because you're definitely in tough spots right now if you want to get back to universities or colleges or your trade program, whatever like you're trying to do after. There's probably different stuff now, I'm assuming.
Wow. Talk about trades.
Yeah.
Talk about how different that is now. Like
exactly.
To go from high school trade to work, which would actually make good money.
Yep.
Now that possibly changed forever because of COVID.
And even universities and colleges might change forever. Like the thing is, I remember like it's definitely the same system. I'm just saying I want to compare it to now. I never had the feeling of how to work be at home. There's no such thing as online. You just take your homework with you, you do it, you go back to school, and you hand it in. Now you're at home, online, and God forbid there's a second wave.
Second wave.
For grade 12s, what I suggest you do is the first semester, make sure you're killing it with your grades, because if you have to do it online, at least universities, they might be a little bit easier. They might be harder. Now competition is rising.
Yep.
Mohammad just said that it was already hard enough to get accepted to university and finding jobs. Before. Imagine how hard it would be now.
Yeah. Because now schools are probably going to take less students for actually on campus who actually come in. Man.
Now that you also bring up a valid point. Now there could be a certain amount of numbers how much they can accept because of Corona.
Yeah, it's true.
Now there could also be they can accept more, but now it's like there's an online and there's an in class. So it's like I don't want to be online, I want to be in class. You have to get higher marks to get into that. I have no idea what they're gonna do. Definitely, again, different times. What a world are we living in right now, guys? You have the power to do a lot of stuff. Make sure you are keeping up with your grades. If my friend listening to this is like, obviously they all know us. Like I wasn't the smartest student, but because I didn't put that passion. But you're obviously in different times where you are now forced.
Yeah.
You are forced.
Yeah.
If you were trying to enter your program, guy, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot harder than it was for us.
Yeah, we weren't the smartest students, but there's a reason why we're talking. We have this platform. Doesn't mean you have to make the same mistakes that we did.
We did.
It's all about trying to prevent it. So therefore, it's more easier for you guys. And you just fly to your destination. Do not try to walk in the potholes that we left behind. It's not worth it. Especially during a time like this when everything is so unpredictable. Because guess what? Back in our time, we actually could try again, go to another school, move to a different place, and still get to university or college.
There was times
it might not be the case for you guys.
Like I even speak about when we went to college, right? There was actually a time where I actually want to leave and go to a different one. And sometimes I do to the people that are guys little tired or what, bro?
I haven't like slept in like.
Speaking of which, make sure you're not talking while you're in school.
Plus,
Could you imagine these guys sleeping in class?
oh my god, the teacher's gonna kill them, bro. Bro, you have like 3 days to come into school. You're already tired. Like,
I'm joking. Muhammad's a hard worker, man. He's been doing working all day. But just to
It's
go back
crazy.
to my original point, which I kind of forgot.
you're talking about working hard, not giving up, and different times between us and them.
Yeah. I actually forgot my point. Guys.
You're talking about like the difference between back in our day versus them now, right? Like,
Yeah, I know. Oh, so I was gonna talk about. Yeah, my bad. I remember. Guys, you get old now, as you start forgetting.
I'm so cold.
You want a sweater?
Yes, please. I'm freezing, man.
I guess you could just promote that counts.
Yeah. Fun break time. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow us at Waste 2.0 on Instagram, at Waste 2.0. You can follow Osama at Kusa300. Once again, at Kusa300. You can follow myself at Mohammad.global. Once again, Mohammad.global. Sorry for the interruption, lack of direction today, guys. A lot of hurdles. Number one, it's freezing outside, even though it's only, 4 o'clock. It is so cold. That's how you know summer is ending and fall is coming. So make sure to have that light sweater, that full-time sweater on. And, yeah, I'm kind of tired. I haven't relaxed this whole week. I've been pretty backed up by work and different things, volunteering and stuff. So I haven't had time to relax. And I rode a big-ass bike over to Osama's place. And I have to ride all the way back. Plus with my big-ass messenger bag. So, fun times. Fun times. But you just gotta be safe, be cautious, and everything will work itself out. Everything will work itself out.
What I wanted to say was, now that I remember, it was when I was in college. I'm not sure if you had the same thing, Muhammad, but I actually wanted to leave because obviously for a lot of reasons.
Same.
And we're not gonna get to that. We can leave that for a different episode. But I obviously wanted to leave, and my point being, and what I'm trying to say is, you're obviously a different time. A lot of you are a lot younger. Like to us, you're like you're 7 years plus younger than us now.
Yeah.
So it's obviously way different. Like 7 years ago, social media wasn't as prominent as it is now.
No.
Technology is a lot more advanced as it was now as it was maybe 7 years ago.
No.
So what I'm trying to say is make sure it's the best of you. Don't make these bad decisions. Sorry, make sure it's like something that's going to take you forward, not backwards. I was watching a video, and it was about Denzel Washington. Actually, he was talking to his college students, and he said, if right now if you're trying to do something, make sure you fall forward, not backward. You know, we always know the saying fall back, but I don't know where I'm falling back. But falling forward, I can at least stop myself from falling and getting hurt. My point is, it's gonna suck now. Whatever you do, you try to get to your best university to do your program, it's gonna suck. But looking back at the times that suck, you're gonna start laughing. You're like, I can't believe I actually went through that. And that's, I think, the meaning behind this. Like, and honestly, like, this whole topic was actually supposed to be so different, way different. And you know, Muhammad, you know what? I think it's important that we discuss and, like, I guess give our 2 cents of what we feel is going on. I actually had no idea half the stuff up at school. Muhammad was just telling me before the podcast was like started. It's insane.
I found out all about this about 2 days ago. And Osama, it's good that we're doing this because obviously we're with the platform. We want to take it to the next level. And we have a lot of different people watching us, right? So shout out to everyone. 25% that's watching us outside of Canada.
Shout out to the countries, United States.
Everyone.
Ireland.
And the thing is, we have a responsibility, right? Whether we like it or not, or whether we want to acknowledge it or not. And it's like, when we were coming up in high school, we had no one to talk to us that we could relate to.
No.
Always brought in some guy from like New Zealand or like where's Colombia who you never heard before. It's like, oh, here's my story. With his like Saskatoon accent, it's like, bro, I cannot relate, right? It's like, can't relate.
They're gonna come after us.
Let them come after us, bro. These men are getting booked in like different schools. No shots. But but maybe no, the same kind of people. I don't know why schools always book these kind of people. It's weird.
They book, you know, it's funny, yeah.
But so that's the point. Like, we didn't have anyone to relate to when it came to how serious it was to be prepared for the life that's coming after high school or post-secondary education, right? So the fact that me and Osama, we've been to different things. It's not like we're older. We're in the midst of just trying to figure our lives out, right?
That's
post-secondary education, right? So it's like we were just there not too long ago.
Yeah. It wasn't long ago. You graduated what, 2015?
No, 2013.
No, like
high school.
Yeah, no, college.
Yeah, 2015.
So I graduated college 2016. He did 2015. So like,
Yeah.
it's 4 or 5 years ago. It's not,
Yeah,
it's
not
not that
long.
long.
It feels like it.
It feels long. It feels
Yeah.
like yesterday at the same time.
Yeah.
And adding on to Muhammad's point, ladies and gentlemen, these times are definitely the most absurd times ever. Something shocking, but the unexpected is what you have to be ready for. I'll tell you. Like, I wasn't planning on bringing this up, but I'll tell you. For us, this whole podcast started unexpectedly. One day I started posting bare stuff, and Muhammad was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I'm like, "No, not even." I was posting bare stuff, and Muhammad was telling me after. He's like, "Yo, after I told him about like the podcast, he's like, we gotta complete our vision." He's like, "I agree, and we're doing it." This is unexpected. We can't predict another pandemic happening, but if it does, now we're much more aware. You're aware of what's happening. You either deal with it or you don't. And if you're still listening to this, what I would do is I'm like, ask myself reflective questions. What do I want to do?
Yeah.
And if you know what you want to do, then do it.
Always. Like, don't hold yourself back. And the thing is, like, it's funny. Once again, I should say this, and we already said this. That the people who might be listening to this, like, yo, you guys were not even the half of the kind of individuals you were in high school. And that's a beautiful thing, because look how life evolves. Look how we turned out. We went through different experiences. We learned, we grew, we matured. So therefore, if it can happen to us, it can happen for the person that's listening, right?
Yeah.
Beyond. We want to go beyond what we did and stuff, right? It's all about growing and evolution and evolving. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. If not, guess what? You're wasting time. And the funny thing is, some of the most mature people in high school, they're not so mature now. Like, they went in different directions, right? So everyone has their own trials and tribulations. Well, we're just speaking to the people who are there right now.
Can you say that again?
Which one?
Again. You're cool. Okay.
Oh, okay. Let me say it.
Yeah.
I was saying that the kind of people that we were in high school,
yeah,
it's amazing how we evolved.
Yeah.
Because we went through certain things and allowed us to grow and mature.
Yeah.
The people who were mature and who were supposed to be leaders in high school, if you look at them now, you'd be shocked. Yeah. But everyone has their own trials and tribulations. It's not about how you deal with it. It's about how you. It's not about how you deal with it. It's about how you let it affect you.
Yes.
Over time, right?
And see, I want to say, I put this quote on our Instagram today. So by the way, make sure you follow us at Ways 2.0.
Follow it.
It says, degree is just a piece of paper. Real education is seen in your behavior.
Facts.
Right? And some people are going to say, what does that mean? Your degree should not determine how far you go. It's not like when you graduate from the University of Toronto or McMaster, it says, you're going to end up doing this and making this much money. Your life is in your hands.
Yeah.
So if you're able to pass through these hard times, then I guarantee you, if you're the strong warrior, passing through this, I guarantee you can pass through anything.
Yeah.
Because these times right now, we know people like you're those people. Like, it's okay to say, I was being lazy for it, because I was.
Yeah.
It was Corona was new to anybody. And I even talked to even my parents, who obviously, and your parents, obviously, like, SARS, they lived through SARS, but they said SARS was not as bad as this.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, who are listening, SARS was a different pandemic that happened in our time, but we were younger.
Yeah,
much younger, and we didn't know about it as much.
No.
So obviously, this is a pandemic where I feel even kids now know about it, because now they're part of it.
Of course.
I've
never seen anything like this so far.
No, I've never seen anything like this. So make sure you guys, your behavior is positive. It's uplifting. Don't let Corona impact your decision. Do not say 2020 to curse. I said this to one of my friends. I said human nature is a curse. A lot of stuff has been happening before 2020.
It's true.
In social media, it's either drawing more attention to it, or people are being more ignorant to it.
Yeah.
Wake up, and this is a wake up call for us as well.
Yeah.
Telling you guys this. If people are saying, "Oh, well, like, you guys are bad students," yes, we understand we're bad students.
Of course.
But you live and you learn.
Like, it's not like we're gonna like create like a fake documentary, like, yo, we're perfect students and all that stuff.
Nah, like,
bro, you can ask anyone.
Our mom,
and the records are still there. It's not like
records are still there.
It's not like we went to school in the 80s and 70s. Like, no, you can pull it up.
Our teachers still work at like certain schools. So
yeah,
if they remember us, they know.
Yeah,
they
so
know.
It's like the history is there, but like I said before, through time and time and time, being mature and learning from your mistakes, you become men, as opposed to acting like little boys and girls as you get older and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That is the big difference.
And like Osama said, that alone determines how people see you
100%,
and respect you.
100%.
It's not what degree you have or how much money you have or who you know. It's about what you are as far as your character.
That's all materialistic.
Facts.
That's almost like how many. Let me ask you a question. So for a lot of people that don't know, me and Muhammad have known each other for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And
Next year is 20 years.
Next year is 20 years. So legit, this is just January coming up.
How long lived in Oakville for? Yeah.
20 years. How long? So he is legit my brother. Like we live or do or die between this guy. I mean, it's live or die. He's like my guy. And what I'm trying to say is, our friendship is not based off materialistic stuff.
Mhm.
Our friendship is not based off how much money he has or how much I have. It's not because he has a good degree or I have a good degree. That degree is meaningless.
Yeah.
If your behavior, if your manners, if your integrity isn't there, and Muhammad's someone, by the way, who, and I'm the same way as well, but we're in the type of person, we have no time for BS. We have no time for being fake. So if you're going to sit here and do it, you're going to do it. And we respect, if we hear kids doing what they're doing at a young age,
Respect.
that's respect to you guys. Like, I commend you. And I commend all the people that are working hard and they got into, like, from our year, who got into top universities. You know, like, shout out to them. Respect to them. But, you know, some people have to learn the hard way. Some people have to learn the easy way. Yeah. But it's better to mess up now than it is when you're older. So if you're listening and you're 18 to 25, we're in that same age range, it's good. It's okay to mess up.
Yeah.
But learn from that mess up.
Yeah, don't take time for granted. Never, ever take time for granted. Because guess what? You might be immature. You might think like, oh, I'm going to take my time and stuff. But guess what? Time keeps going. It keeps going. So therefore, your friends get older. Your parents get older. Your neighbors get older. And as they get older and as you get older, people have less tolerance of your BS.
Of course.
And you find out the harder way. So that's why, like Osama said, it's okay to mess up now, but at the same time, be accountable, be mature, and do not take anything for granted.
You know what I liked about, like, we'll end it off talking about time. Guys, time is an essence.
Essence.
2020 is almost done.
Almost.
Guys, it's like legit 4 months. Boom. We're into 2021. And if we were saying 2020 was a curse, and I'm going to say this. I said it as a joke.
Sorry, before I let you continue, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. What?
Black Panther.
We got to end it off like that, man. Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.
Man.
You know how I found out? I was going on Instagram, and I was like, and I see 6S. There's an account called 6 Months, if you guys don't know it.
Yeah.
For the non-Canadians accounts. I'm going, I'm like, it's blurry, right? I'm like, so I open my data, and I'm reading. So I'm like, I thought it was going to say he has cancer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he passed away? I'm like, you're lying. And speaking about time, you know when your time is done. And rest in peace to our guy. And he never, you know what I respect about him? He never publicized his cancer.
Never.
He didn't want people to feel bad for him.
Tenfold. He was the fact that he did all those movies between countless surgeries and just chemotherapy for us, and the fact that people were making fun of him when he was sick and stuff, like all the jokes and the memes. And I remember I didn't repost or anything, but I remember I laughed at like one of the jokes and stuff, right? Because like his hair was more like thinner, and like people were like he looked like Prince and stuff, whatever, like the '80s singer and all that stuff, whatever. But he just took it like a man. He didn't say anything about it. And the fact that he's gone and you realize it and you can't make up and say that you're sorry, it's one of those things. So that's why when someone's going, you never know what people are going through. So never ever assume and hurt someone's feelings intentionally. Like do not take people's feelings for granted.
Of course.
It's earned. It's not given.
Of course. And you said
no matter
yourself.
what. No matter what.
Like rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman.
Rest
Obviously,
in peace.
It's been 6 months in the passing of Kobe Bryant. Like, yes, we lost a lot of legends. One was a tragedy. Other one was due to cancer for 4 years. Like, you don't know how much he was suffering. Like, no one actually knew.
No one. For him. Still tragedy. Yeah.
Maybe him and his family. Like, it's obviously. And the one thing I respected about him is like, had you known, you obviously would maybe not be saying those jokes. But the fact that he kept it secret. Man. Now, for the people that are making fun of those jokes, you feel bad.
Of course.
Right, and I honestly I knew him obviously off of the Avengers and off of Black Panther. I don't know him that well as an actor.
Yeah,
but he's a highly appreciated actor. A lot of people right away they went and spoke about him on Instagram. It was definitely shocking.
What Black Panther did for me and my family and my community and our race as a whole. We'll talk about another episode in the future, maybe. But until then, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Your legacy will live on forever. Wakanda forever. And to all the kids going back to school, like me and Osama said, be tough, be smart, be mindful, and the world is yours. Osama.
Yeah, honestly, that's an amazing way to end it off. Guys, as Mohammad said, be mindful, be insightful. go with this year with the big positive. Imagine, you know what? I want to say this. I want to end it off like this. If you're walking through a train track and everything is dark, make sure you look at the light. Stop looking at the darkness. The light is what's going to get you through the darkness. If you keep looking at the darkness, you'll never see the light at all.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Peace.
Peace.